But yeah, this is just a side note. This is just something funny I did and tried with the budget when I did it. And I had coded it in such a way that it was so easy to multiply it that each person had an individual account number, each company had an individual account number within that region. It was so easy to multiply and link back to the central banks in those countries. Like if it was per country, that's why I started calling it X200. I I just selected a random 200 countries, and I was like, okay, and it multiplied 200 times, and then it ended up being like $40 trillion or something, which was crazy, like $40 trillion a year. It was just something funny I tried, and it was like if it was massive before, it was now 200 times the size. But like I say, X200 was more of a joke sort of thing, but it was also cool to see, like because it became so big. Like it was already like the size of a stadium screen, like I was saying, and now it's 200 times the size. I think if you printed this thing out on A4 paper all the way up, like if you just had a printer printing out, this budget would have reached into space. Like that's how big it was. It would reach into space of just companies, accounts, account numbers, staff members. It was like 10 million accounts or something, and all the different buildings and all the like. It was just it was mind-bogglingly big. But the funny thing is, no matter where I was in the budget, out of that humongous, like I knew where I was. Like I knew what I was talking about. Like I knew what each number and thing did. So yeah, X200 is just a joke for now. I mean, it might be the budget for a small star cluster in the Milky Way or something. It's that big, but no, like let's just stick to the one. Then I was like, okay, it's getting too big now. Just stick to the one. Let's get back to reality. So speaking of countries, this is where I was also like, okay, but no government's going to let you get away with just printing money. No government's going to do that, unfortunately, or fortunately, actually, because it's a good security procedure. And it was like, what? And also, there's a whole matter of tax, and there's taxes, and there's transactions, and there's a lot of taxes. And I was like, okay, okay, I see where you're going with this. Let's let me just make a little few tweaks here. So then I did. I went back, changed the budget a little bit, and I was like, okay, what if I make a nice little tweak here? And I added a row just called tax, pretty much. Just called tax. Like that's what it was called. And in it is just a nice, meaty, juicy amount of money. Like bigger than all the companies that are getting, like it's a big amount of money that they will get from the company every year, just just as a tax to cover everything. It's everything that they would ask legally for transactions or whatever, and a little bit more. It's everything, and it's there. Like it's part of the money that gets printed. And it's like, what do you mean the government? The government gets a nice meaty chunk of all that money that gets printed every year. The government, all the politicians, the government who run the country, they get that amount. It's a tax. It's tax. It's just about paying taxes. Because I was looking at all the columns and I was looking at all the numbers and I was like, there's tax for everything. This is just too much tax. It's too much. Like even the tax man himself is going to be like, no, this is a nightmare. So to simplify it, so what if they get the overall tax on everything, like on everything that's going on? They, there's a tax. And it's like, for which government? What are you talking about? Which government? And I'm like, whichever government is in charge of the country that funds this. And to enable this to be something. So from this plan that I laid out, how it prints and deletes money and whatever, there are a lot of people who can make money from it. With all those big companies that I was talking about, people, jobs getting created, products being made, and the government getting paid, damn it. Damn it. So yes, that's it. And what would the government use that for? It's tax to build roads and build hospitals and whatever. Like whatever the government spends money on, like that's what it's there for. So that's why, and that's what also made me think. Okay, maybe I'm looking at a single budget for one country. When I was looking at the budget, I was like, maybe I'm looking at it, but that's still in debate. It might be actually for a minor star cluster. So we got, like I say, there's a lot of people being paid. There's a lot of people being paid. There's even charities in there. There's charities in there as well, like printing money for charities and whatever. And this is, so basically what I've been presenting is a new currency as well. But that falls underneath everything I said this company was capable of. So I'll leave it at that for now when talking about the budget. I have the spreadsheet and I have the thing like that, but like I say, that's just a skeleton of what we really need are the engineers, the software engineers, and the programmers, and the security encryptors, and those sorts of people, like to be actually working on this. That's what we really need. So that's also why I'm not really worried. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. That was a quick 40 minutes to try and simplify everything about the money. When I was just clarifying when I said In Your Head Productions has other ways it could make money. So when I was suggesting all those buildings and all those other products and all those other amazing things, I had that also in the back of my mind, that big budget and the big reveal of that as to how it's going to pretty much fund itself and spend back in on itself. So I'll leave it at that. That was just a quick 40 minutes. I mean, it's a lot more complicated than that. I tried to simplify it as much as I could. And obviously, like everything, it's not perfect. System has its flaws, but we can work that out and we can improve on it. So yes, I will leave it at that. I'm going to stop talking about money now because I want to move on to other products and things like that. So I'm going to leave it at that, let my mind rest for tonight. So it's a 40-minute presentation on just the money side of things and how I was offering a number of solutions because I was suggesting so much that it was like, okay, but how there's costs and how are you going to fulfill all those costs and whatever. So I just offered a number of solutions tonight, and now it's online, it's there, you can go and read it, there's also books that I've written about it, but I won't bother you with it. You can go watch it. It's also, it's there, it's archived, it's for the world to see. And it's like, no, don't go, we want to talk about money more. No, like I say, it's heavy on the mind. I did say a few weeks ago already, I said this company can be taxing, it can take a toll on me physically, spiritually, mentally, and I've been thinking about it too much for today. Like thinking about all those numbers and how to explain it and how to try and be as concise as possible, and it still ended up being 40 minutes. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for a number of days, maybe even weeks before I talk about the budget again, because I want to talk about other products. There's many more exciting things that In Your Head Productions can do other than just making money. There's plenty of exciting things that it can do, and that's what I want to share with the world, and I hope you feel the same way too.